I fucking love Dark Souls, man. There's just no other game like it. It's hard to describe what I love about it because it hates me. I've been thrashed, whipped, mauled, and crushed by everything and anything it can send at me. And yet, I love it still. It sounds like an undisclosed fetish, but it's not. I hope. Here's the bottom line. Dark Souls is difficult, but it's more than that. Yeah, sure, when it first came out in 2011, it was one of those games that YouTubers would play because it was hard, which in part contributed to its popularity, but that's not why fans rave about it. It's not why I love it. Dark Souls' genius rests on this philosophy that encourages the player to explore and discover all the game's intricacies, from the nuances of combat down to the meat of its narrative. The first impression people have of the game is that it's one of those time sinkers that rely on the novelty of being hard, that it's hard for the sake of being hard, but it's not. It's actually purposeful and fits the narrative the developers are trying to tell. Here's how the story goes. You start as some random undead who makes his less than grand escape from prison with the aid of a knight named Oscar of Astoria. However, misfortune befalls said knight only 5 minutes later, and in his dying breath, he asks that you take up his mission in exchange for your freedom.
There was an old saying in my family, thou who art undead art chosen.
At this point, you have no idea what the hell is going on and why a goddamn bird just picked you up from prison and dropped you in the middle of nowhere, but as you, the chosen undead, fight through powerful forces of malice and decay, you discover that you serve a much bigger purpose. You are the key to preserving the rule of Gwyn, the lord responsible for the Age of Fire, thereby extending the undead curse that plagues humanity. Alternatively, you could choose to usher in an age of dark, a primordial time, unknown and uncertain, snuffing out the embers of Gwyn's reign. To do either of these, you must get stronger by consuming the souls of the lords you defeat, which is why the difficulty makes so much sense. It translates well into the gameplay because you feel that you do get stronger with every frustrating boss you topple. Dark Souls really isn't about being difficult, as much as game journalists portray it to be. In fact, Hidetaka Miyazaki, the father of the Souls franchise, never intended it to be perceived as a hard game. Yes, it does have a harsh learning curve, but it's integrated with the story to make an entirely new experience. There is nothing like feeling your heart beat like a ticking bomb in your chest when you're on your 15th try on a boss and you're just about to get it. You're desperately trying not to get hit because your essence has run out and you can't heal, so you spam circle to roll, praying that you can get one last swing in, but you can't because you're afraid of dying and you don't want to make a long run back from the bonfire, so your hands start sweating profusely and your butt clenches and your senses go into maximum overdrive. And when finally you hear the mellifluous screech of your foe as he falls to his knees and fades into a bright light. Oh, sweet baby mama. The wave of relief that overcomes your body and blesses your hollowed soul like holy water is otherworldly. I fucking hate this game. Typically, games would put you in the shoes of a child of destiny or a beloved hero in his or her prime, but Dark Souls bravely chooses to avoid cliché by making you a no-name undead who was to rot in prison for eternity. And even if you are referred to as a chosen undead, that is far from the truth. Many undead have come before you, and all have failed in their mission. You're just a beef jerky looking ass dude in a pack of other beef jerky looking ass dudes. What makes you special is your will to keep fighting against the odds, no matter how many times you die. You are chosen because you are the first to persevere and succeed. This is what makes Dark Souls so beautiful. Its gameplay, story, and world all intertwined to make a strong message, which is another topic for another time. And what amazes me, really, is that it breaks the storytelling conventions that games have established. Boring exposition,
but we never took them seriously. Maybe we should have. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Better to start at the beginning, with the abduction of Desmond Miles, my son.
long, wordy journals, hints, signs, unskippable cutscenes that drone on. Dark Souls scraps all of that, and instead relies on the player to piece an interpretation of the story based on the context clues the world provides them with. Most of the lore is derived from vague item descriptions and the player's sparse interactions with the characters, who are often unhelpful. While this seems detrimental, it succeeds, because while the pieces are hidden, they fit into one cohesive picture you and I can understand to some extent. Seriously, YouTube channels like Vati Video with hours of content on the lore are a testament to the success of Dark Souls' storytelling. The ambiguous and open-ended plot gives the game longevity and a reason for its fans to band together and figure it out. But of course, a story can only go as far as its world can take it. For a story to be convincing, the world that surrounds it must be convincing. And Lordran, Dark Souls' deliberately crafted world with seamless, interconnected levels do more than just convince. They show you the places that have most despaired, where civilizations fell and what horrors have taken their place. They show you what you are not meant to see, but have seen anyway because of your quest, like Nito's graveyard, where only the dead are meant to dwell, and Ash Lake, upon which the entire world sits. Finally, they show you what you should be seeing, that despite the destruction and the dismal scenes that surround you, the last bastions of hope and tranquility like Firelink Shrine remain, albeit rare. Dark Souls' ability to convey its story through its world, items, and characters with little to no aid from conventional tropes makes it something truly special. For me, the world building FromSoft the developers have done is unparalleled because they manage to tell a story without having to tell one. Dark Souls set a very strong precedent for video games, and to this day, its ingenuity is unmatched. I mean, it spawned an entire Souls-like genre because of its impact on the industry. And yes, while the labeling or the existence of a new genre is up to debate, its influence is undeniable. The Dark Souls formula on the surface is easy enough to copy but difficult to reverse engineer and emulate because everything must be cohesive and everything must make sense while simultaneously be confusing and mysterious. Everything, the weapons, armor, locations, items, bosses, and characters, must have a purpose, ultimately coming together to make an awesome and, most importantly, fun experience. And that's why I fucking love it. And yeah, the game has a lot of jank with its unfair hitboxes and many glitches, but damn, I just think it's a masterpiece. Masterpiece. Mwah.